Here is how you log into and use QuickBase. This is Operations Support Center, or OSC. This is their ticketing system. I'm going to go ahead and use the help desk email address to log in here. And you're going to see two main tabs up here and two buttons here. The biggest differences between the two: Mimo Support, you're going to open calls in Mimo Support. Once a call has been opened, if you're looking for a tech ETA, if you're looking for parts tracking, or if you're looking for a resolution, you're going to find that information in Avio Support. So let's go ahead and take a look at opening a new call, and then I'll show you how to view an existing call. So first I'm going to go ahead and I can either, again, click the little button here that says Mimo Support, or I can click this tab up here. So on the right hand side, you're going to see this button, New Call. So we're going to go ahead and click that. And you're going to see all of these drop down menus and these text boxes here. So we'll go through these one at a time. So my user, I'm going to go ahead and select my name. If you're not on this list, please reach out to me so that I can have the service manager over at OSC. His name is Al Raisky. So I'll reach out to him either by phone or email and ask him to add you to the list. Okay, so the next field here is the GTA number. As you can imagine, anything with these little red stars means that it's a required field. So my GTA number, that's going to be the ticket number that I open in GoToAssist. Once we integrate or migrate, I guess, over to Zendesk and start using Zendesk as our primary, that's going to be your ticket number there. So the way you would find that, and the reason that I have this second tab open here, if I'm opening up a new call, again, you'll know from the GTA video and from your GTA training, you would click New Incident to open up a new incident. And automatically you're going to get an incident number here. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that. And let's pretend like I've already filled out my GTA ticket. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the GTA field. Next is going to be your INC number. So as we know, this is Costco's ticket number. There's a little box over here just in case, this little circle I here, info button. This is the Costco call number. This is important for Costco tickets and Costco customers because corporate will dispute an invoice if we don't have the INC linked to either our parts bill or our labor bill. So if you have an INC number, which you should for every Costco ticket that we open, you'll put that here. If it is a non-Costco customer, since this is a required field, you will have to put something in here. Please just put the GTA number twice. So in this case, if I'm opening for a non-Costco customer, I would put that same GTA number so that this number and this number, these are the same in both fields. If I have an INC number, I'm going to go ahead and just type in one that I have open. Okay, so next is my location. This should be a list of all of our customers. Mimo customers should be in here. I think you might find some that are OSC only customers. You're more than welcome to select from the drop down and just kind of scroll through here. Or if you know the warehouse number, go ahead and type in CW and then the numbers. One important thing to note is that there is a city and a state field here. So OSC will either ship to the correct location, or sometimes they might ship to the incorrect location. And what I mean by that, if for whatever reason I accidentally select 1324, but in my city I type in Fairbanks and I type in Alaska, well, I didn't really mean 1324. I meant 1342. So it's really important to pay attention to detail here, because OSC, it's sort of a hit or miss with if they are going to reach out to us to correct it, or if they're going to ship it to the location that we selected based on the drop-down menu. So again, very important to just double check everything that you're filling out. Okay, so let's say I do want to ship something to Fairbanks, Alaska. I'm going to select 1342. I know that it's a MEMO 300, Fairbanks, Alaska. And in my city, I'm going to put Fairbanks and Alaska for my state. In GTA, I would look up if Fairbanks, Alaska has a MEMO, has one MEMO or two MEMOs, which again, you should know this from your original GTA ticket, whether the incident or the issue is happening on MEMO number 1 or 2. We should already have that information. I know that Fairbanks, Alaska only has one MEMO, so I'm going to say that this pretend issue is happening on MEMO number 1. Next, we'll want to go ahead and fill out if this issue is happening on the cash, the coin, or if it's unrelated to either of those things. Perhaps it's the PC, so that would be NA. Perhaps it is the monitor. I wouldn't consider that to be on the cash or the coin. I would consider that to be a completely separate part. So if you have any questions on whether the issue is related to cash or coin, please ask a coworker, a supervisor, a manager, so that we can just try to figure out which option is best for the issue. I'm just going to pretend like they have a damaged hopper. It's the easiest ticket, right? So cash or coin is going to be coin. Your MTC. If you have a cash issue, OSC is probably 9 times out of 10 going to email us back and ask, are we getting any MTCs? It's best to put an MTC in there. It's best to get that MTC from the customer when you're on the phone with them. If there is no MTC, you're more than welcome to put NA. Again, it's a required field, as you can tell by the red star. We're not going to fill out an MTC for coin. We don't get MTCs for coin, so I'm going to put NA. Next here is dispense or deposit. This is going to be, again, are we having an issue dispensing, depositing? Are we having an issue doing both? Or is it completely unrelated to dispense deposit? For example, a monitor issue, right? That's not related to a dispense or a deposit. So I'm going to say that it's, again, if it's a damaged hopper, we know that the hopper is dispense coin. So I'm going to click dispense. Next is going to be my request. Am I requesting to cancel this call, dispatch a technician? Are we dispatching a technician and shipping parts? Are we only shipping parts? Or are we opening up a support ticket? Support tickets are for non-OSC contract customers. For example, ArcLight, right? Movie theaters, they do not have a contract. So if I needed to reach out to OSC because we've been troubleshooting with ArcLight and we're just, we've used all our resources and we're just really not sure where to go next or what to do next, we should be reaching out to OSC for support. Our rule of thumb is to open up a support ticket after 48 hours. If we've replaced parts and if a technician has gone out and we're still not able to fix it, 48 hours hits, we need to be opening up a support ticket. OSC takes these first come, first serve, and especially contract customers do get support quicker and take priority. So for example, let's say we have this Costco 300 here in Fairbanks, Alaska, and we're having a software issue. Let's say we've tried multiple things and now we're reaching out to OSC for support. Well, we know that OSC has a parts contract for Costco for this 300 and we do the labor ourselves, right? So we're going to open up a support ticket to have OSC help us out with our issues. And because it's a Costco, they may or may not come back and say, well, this is a non-contract customer or non-OSC customer or a MEMO customer. It doesn't matter. They have a parts contract. They're Costco. They're our biggest customer. They're OSC's biggest customer, right? Costco is our bread and butter. So we want to keep them happy. If you get any pushback on a support call for a contract customer, especially a Costco, please, please, please reach out to a supervisor, manager, myself, so that we can get involved and make sure that it's escalated properly. All right. So Fairbanks, Alaska. I just realized that this is a terrible, terrible example because we don't send hoppers to US. We ship them ourselves, MIMO, internally. So I'm actually going to change this back to 1324 St. John's Bay. And something that, hopefully we've either covered so far in training or we will cover in training. Who ships what parts, right? As of right now, today is July 11th, 2019. As of right now, as of today, we get our parts for MIMO 100 and MIMO 300 from OSC. Let's again turn our attention. Let's say for this example, we have a Costco in Canada that needs a hopper. We do not ship Canadian hoppers. OSC ships Canadian hoppers. MIMO ships other parts, which will be a separate topic here. So let's not get too far off track. Okay, so again, going back, let's pretend that St. John's Bay, they're a MIMO 100, it's in Canada, and OSC is going to ship a coin hopper. All right, so we've got this top section filled out. Our next field is request. We don't necessarily need a technician to replace a hopper, right? We can have the customer replace the hopper themselves. Ideally, for a hopper situation, we've had the customer replace their damaged hopper or their non-functioning hopper with a new one or with their spare. So we're going to go ahead and ship them a replacement spare. So they're up and running. They're good to go. We're just going to ship a part. I'm going to type in a problem here. Customer reported bent pins on, they don't have smalls, on large hopper. I'm going to put, just to make it easy, 25 cents, so quarter hopper, right? Customer swapped with spare, tested okay. And that's pretty much all you need. There's a 500 character limit for both the problem, the troubleshooting done, and the comments/additional info. So combined, you only, have up to 1,500 characters. It's not a lot when you're trying to be as detailed as possible. Good thing that we do have this section here down here where we can include attachments. So if we want to, if we want to attach logs or pictures or more words, whatever, you can always send an extra email to OSC support as well, just as an add-on if you run out of characters. This situation that we're hypothetically, creating here, this is actually a very simple fix. We have the customer reported bent pins, right? We know it's physical damage. Customer already told us there's not really any troubleshooting that we can do. However, we know that since they swapped the spare hopper, everything's good to go. And we know that it's not the connector, the CCU, so on and so forth. So if you ever have questions about, what do I put in my OSC ticket? Or am I putting too much detail? Am I putting not enough detail? As you start to look at tickets and see, you will get emails from OSC asking for more clarification. Did we do this? Did we check logs? Did we, clear jam? Did we blah, blah, blah? They'll ask us questions like that. And it's probably because we're not putting enough detail in the ticket, or enough to their liking, I guess I should say. So as much as possible, everything that you've done, all the necessary steps that you've taken, even if it's basic stuff, just put it in there, and that way we can get the customer their part and up and running and so on and so forth. So, okay, so part requested here. All of the MIMO 300 parts are listed as 7,500. We know that 7,500 is the MIMO 300 manufacturer name. Down here we have ABIO, automatic bill in out, and we know that that's the MIMO 100. And then if we scroll down even more, we have ASIO, automatic coin in out. This is the MIMO coin manufacturer name. So you've got all these things here. And then down, we've got Canada stuff. And we've got, just some extra peripherals here. There is another one that says see problem other. So if there's a part that's not listed on here that we need, go ahead and select that. But then type in the problem section here what part you're looking for. And then down here, till cup set, Audio Cassettes US, and so on and so forth, okay? This is also very important to choose the correct part. If you're not sure, if you are not 100% sure of what you are ordering, please, please, please reach out to a coworker, supervisor, manager, even myself. I can kind of give you a little bit of description on some of these parts. One thing I know for sure is that we do have a bit of an issue with these chassis connectors, the harness, and then these the tray connector repair kit and the coin connector, yellow, old. We'll do a separate training on this, but know that these are all different and you have to know which one that you need to order for the customer, okay? So I do have some materials on that, so make sure to ask for those. All right, so for this example, I'm sending out a large hopper. So I have Canadian large hopper. Perfect. That's what I'm going to ship. And then how do I want it shipped, right? If the customer has a spare and they're up and running and they don't necessarily need any, it doesn't have a priority, go ahead and ship it ground, ship it 2-day. You can still ship it priority if you'd like. It's best to ask the customer what they want, especially if they have a spare, going the extra step and just saying, since you have your spare and you're up and running, can I go ahead and just ship this ground to save you some costs? Or do you mind if I ship it ground? Or ask them, how would you like this shipped? I know you have a spare in right now. To save you some costs, I can ship it ground, so on and so forth. However, per our contract with Costco, most of our parts that are like the big frus, those have to be shipped priority next day, AM. So that's going to be your default for Costco's, okay? Pretty much your default for every customer, again, unless you've spoken to them separately and you've said, how would you like this shipped? If the customer is hard down, priority next day AM is preferred. The difference between next day AM and Saturday delivery, that's important because there's an extra charge with it and there's an extra button that OSC has to click so that way FedEx knows that it's authorized to be delivered on a Saturday. So please make sure to select those appropriately. If you're shipping a part on a Friday night or a Friday afternoon, Saturday delivery is going to be your best bet so that it gets there on time, okay? Same day special. This means that the part is actually being picked up from OSC by a courier. So someone is in a truck, in a van, in their car, they're going to OSC, they're picking up the part, they're driving it directly to the airport. They're putting it on a plane, and then wherever it's going, there's a courier on the other end that's coming to pick it up. Okay, so they're going to meet it at the airport. They're going to pick it up in their car, truck, van, whatever, and they're going to drive it directly to the customer. That is a very, very, very expensive thing. I've seen these anywhere from, a couple $100 up to the like $800. So really anywhere in between there, depending on how soon we can get the part out, what if it's like the last flight of the night. There's so many different factors. That has to be approved by MIMO management, and it also gets escalated to, again, Al Raisky, he's the service manager over at OSC. So it'll get escalated to him. He wants an email. He wants written authorization from myself or someone else at MIMO, someone in management at MIMO, just so that he knows that we're authorizing the same day charges and so on and so forth. So same day special, that's a big deal. Again, it's the same thing as next flight out. So you might see something in GTA that says NFO, it means next flight out. If you see something in a customer's profile window, again, right here, let's say who has next flight out. I don't know if Adventureland does, but let's just see here. No, they don't. Seminole. Okay, so parts contract, and they have next flight out included in their contract. This means that if it does end up being a warranty part, meaning it's not customer abuse, then we'll eat the cost. So again, it's very important that we get MIMO management authorization and that the right people are involved on both parties, MIMO and OSC. Okay, last two things here. You can request up to 3 parts in a single ticket. If you have to request more than 3 parts, for example, Universal Studios Orlando, they typically request 4, 5, 6 parts at a time. If you get a request for more than 3 parts, you have to open more than one QuickBase ticket, more than one QB ticket. So just know that, okay? Last thing here, attachment. You're more than welcome to add pictures of damaged pins. Sometimes OSC will ask for serial numbers, and logs. You can attach logs here, I think. Just any pertinent information. Again, anything that you need to attach, please use this field as you feel necessary or as you feel it's needed. So then you would go ahead and click Save and Close. I am not going to do that. But once you hit Save and Close, you'll then come to another screen and it's going to give you your QuickBase number. So at that point, that's where you would write down here, QuickBase number. You would write down the, whatever number it is. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at an open call. I'm going to cancel here. I'm just on another screen. All right. So now I'm going to jump over to ABIO support, and I'm going to use this little magnifying or search feature up here and paste that number. I know that this QuickBase number is for warehouse 252. You'll notice that it says, excuse me, that it says record ID. I'm not entirely sure why there are 2 different numbers, but the SS number is the number that we receive when we open up a call in MIMO support. And then in ABIO support, that has a service call number. So this is what OSC will typically reference. We reference this number here. They're linked in the system, which is fine, good, great, fine. But just in case you ever have any questions about that, that's where there's 2 different numbers there. So we've got our QuickBase number, we have our GTA number, we have our incident number, the warehouse or customer information, what MIMO number it is, the city, the state. Our problem here, we replaced the cassette B with a spare multi-cassette and configured it. User is also getting warning 188. So this section here in the problem, OSC will typically put their updates in this problem section here. So what they're really great about doing most of the time is that they'll put the date that they're putting the note, they'll put their initials of who is actually entering the note. Whoever entered this note here, shipping cassette 74, didn't put their initials, which, whatever. VLS stands for Victoria Laptop Service, and this is actually a depot, a stocking location, I guess you could say, in Canada. So if there are parts that are needed in Canada, we don't have to ship them across the border and mess with customs. Parts are being stocked at this location here. There's a guy up there who refurbishes them, so he'll just ship them within the country in Canada. So that's what VLS is. So the main guy over at VLS is Tibor. So anyway, so this is his note from July 4th. He was shipping the cassette, estimated time of delivery, 7/5 at 5 p.m. It was delivered 7/5 at 9:20. I don't know if that's AM or PM. Typically, these times that are in here are going to be local times, just so you are aware. And then here's 7/5 MJ over at OSC, Mark Jutkins, I believe his last name is. MIMO is, they are also requesting a dispatch for MIMO or for message 188 coin counter. So sometimes you can make sense of their notes. Sometimes they're pretty incoherent. If you have any questions, just go ahead and reach out to them via email or call them down at, there's a number somewhere in here, and on a phone list that we have, I'm sure. So this was our troubleshooting. Started RCM, user received error message, cache recycler has hardware error, ran initial reset, came back normal, cleaned out tabs 2, 3, 4, 5. So you could see that this person really did a great job at listing out what we actually did, right? Then we restarted RCM and then again received the same error, cache recycler has started. So we really couldn't narrow down what was going on. In the resolution here, there was something that was delivered, right? So this is Al Reisky on July 8th, July 9th. Tech replaced hub on the 5th, cleaned the Mach 3 due to coin miscounting, added further detail in the QB. correction on the above tech notes. I don't know. So sometimes their notes make sense, sometimes they don't. But you're more than welcome to reach out to them via phone or email, just asking for clarification. So this is a terrible example, and I'm super, super sorry. Date that we opened the call and the date that they actually closed it, who it was originated by, who the customer is. And down here is the section where you can see the parts that we've requested. So this is the actual part that we chose from the drop-down menu, an ABIO multi-cassette with an alternate lock. This is a Costco, so they get a 3245 key. Here's the serial number of the cassette, and here's the tracking. So one thing that you have to do from here is you have to take this information, and in your GTA ticket, in the comments, we'll go ahead and put this in. Just clean it up a little bit nicer here. Okay. And what I like to do is, instead of, anytime I see like an OSC's or a Hitachi manufacturer name or anything like that, I just take it out and replace it with whatever we call it, right? So then from here, I know that now that I have tracking, one of our processes and policies, I guess you could say, the second that we update something in GTA or Zendesk, again, when we do it, the second that you update here in our ticketing system, we have to update in cart. So that'll be a second video, but at this point, this is what I would put here. I would say this is the part that I requested. Here's the serial number. Here's the tracking. I'm just going to tab down a little bit, and then I would say updated carts. And I would go ahead and save the ticket, right? You could put your initials if you'd like. It's not necessary, but it's nice to show that someone did it. So you can put your full name if you want. So this just tells the rest of the team that if they open up this ticket, they go in QuickBase and they see, oh, I have tracking and I have a part number, awesome. They know that by looking at the GTA ticket, you've already done this part here by updating carts. So that's an important part, because again, Costco will dispute anything that is not put into carts properly. So they want serial numbers, they want tracking information, they want tech ETAs, they want all of that good stuff. So as soon as we have it, go ahead and update carts. Again, the one thing I would say is, just if you have something that says ABIO, don't include ABIO in carts. You can take out ABIO completely. You can replace it with MEMA 100. You can just leave it as multi-cassette. Okay, so that is my tutorial on QuickBase. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, thanks.